Hey everybody, how are you gems doing? Happy Saturday to everyone. I hope everybody's doing well. I just thought I'd come in, give you guys your weekly chit chat and talk about a topic. And the topic that I came up with is they don't want to see you happy. Let me put my invite link in here. I hope everybody's doing awesome. If you could hit the like, I'd really appreciate it. Um, I was thinking what direction I wanted to go with this topic because it's a lot of directions that you could go. But my first initial thought is there are some people out there that want to see you miserable. They want to see you fail. They want to see you lacking. They want to see you how they are feeling. Like if they're at a negative space in their life, they want you to be in a negative space in their life. If they're not getting certain things, like even out here on social media, um, sometimes people will be this way. They don't want to see you in a good space. They don't want to see you progressing and happy. They don't want to see you working on yourself and improving your relationships with your family, with your friends, being a better human being. People like to see you down. Put up a topic saying, my life is miserable, or I hate this person or that person. You'll have 50 to 100 people in your life, but talk about that I'm being blessed. I'm so happy. I'm encouraged. I'm enthusiastic. I'm living the life of my dreams. 15, 20 views. But it's okay. The most important thing in life is that you should get to a space in your life where you can be happy. That's the most important thing. Well, that's the most important thing for me. I should say that you have to be around people who are like minded. And there are some individuals that never want to see you win, they never want to see you thrive. Hey, East, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Saturday. I hope you're doing well. There are just some people that that's just where they operate. They just operate in a very negative space, a very dark space, and that's what they're about. So I had to learn, maybe it's taken me about a year or so ago. Hey, Leticia, how are you doing? Hey, Realist One here. Welcome. Happy Saturday to everybody. Yes, hit the like, everyone, please. Um, I'm at a space in my life where I can't let other people make me miserable anymore. For a long time, I used to let my relatives, friends, quote unquote, other people make me unhappy. And it's like a personal choice that you have to make for yourself for you to want to constantly be seeking happiness. And when you're around certain individuals, it will cause you to like spiral down. Like you're going to be negative because they're negative. You're going to be in a dark space because they're in a dark space. And I had to learn for myself, for me to be at my optimum level of happiness, I have to cut ties with certain people. I have to stop listening to certain things that other people are talking about because that's not where I'm operating. That's not the level that I'm at. And it's not like I'm trying to seem like, oh, I'm all that, I'm better than other people. No, it's like when you have walked away from the negative, when you've walked away from, all of that, the drama and all of that foolishness, it's like you can't like you can't be around certain people. Hey Tamika, how are you doing? Welcome. I hope everybody's doing awesome on their Saturday. And I found for myself, I know every single person is different, and I would love to hear where you guys are in your life. But I learned that to make myself happy, I can't listen to negative things. I can't be around negative people. I can't be around drama. I can't because it disrupts my spirit and it blocks my creative energy. I don't feel like doing anything after I'm around certain people. Like I have certain relatives that I can't. Like you love them, but I had to learn to love myself more than I love them. Certain people who are my friends, quote unquote, friends, but not really friends, actually frenemies. And it's like I want people to be happy, but at what sacrifice? Do you sacrifice everything to make other people happy? People that are your friends, family, relatives, your partner, the person that you're with. Do you sacrifice your contentment? Do you sacrifice your goals and your focus and what you want for your life? Do you sacrifice that because they're in a bad space? Do you allow yourself to be miserable because they're miserable? And that was a battle that I've been fighting for so many years, um, holding back from doing the things that I want to do because they're not in a good space. Or if they're miserable, it's like you have to be miserable too. And I don't like that. So I had to start backing away from certain people in my life, a family, friends, relative, even distance yourself from people in the workplace because for me, it's like my peace is far too important. I hope it is far too important for you too. You can't let other people and their negativity get you down because there's so many that they don't want to see you happy. They want you to be miserable, or they don't want you to win because they're not winning. They're in a negative space, so they want you to be in a negative space. And I had to stop saying anything to certain people that I cared about. Like I love them, but I had to learn to love myself more. And I'm constantly teaching myself what that means for me, because as I grow, as I mature, as I tap into my worth even more, I can't I can't get off track from my focus, the goals that I have for myself, the financial situation that I'm trying to set up, my mental capability, my physical health, my diet, the things that I'm eating. It's like I don't know. I can't explain it to you. It's like it's not until you're there that you can understand. Some people will think it's weird that you can't be around people that are negative or drama filled and stuff, and people put people in categories like their family, their friends, other people. Just because you've been around people for a long time, it doesn't mean that it's good for you. And for me, I can't anymore. I can't anymore. And it's on all levels. It's on social media. It's my relatives. It's the person that I'm in a relationship with. It's every relationship that that touches me. If it's not something that is going to e- elevate me, teach me something, if they're not in a space where they're happy and they're positive, like I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. Let me see who's in the chat. I was just saying what I had on my brain. I don't know if anybody else is there in their life too. And I feel like I've had enough. I really have. Hey Angie, how are you doing? Happy Saturday. Welcome. How are you and your family? Hey Kyle, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Saturday. I hope you're having a good Saturday afternoon. Hey, the mother and daughter duo, how are you doing? Welcome in. Appreciate you. Shout out to all my mods. I really do appreciate you all. Yeah, it is true. And I find that I find that for myself, I and it doesn't sound like a nice thing, but some people who will make it seem like you're not a good person because you're evolving, because you're actually using your brain and you're getting focused, you're not procrastinating, you're actually getting things done, you're taking care of yourself, you know. Actually, you're taking care of yourself. I think that's the point that maybe years ago I didn't get. I would always have things that I wanted to do, like take care of myself, and not even like major things, basic things like going to doctor's appointments, taking care of my skin, my hair, my body, making sure I get exercise, take care of my finances, do the things that I love, do the things that's within, my focus, my light, my passion for my life. And I can't let people drag me down anymore. Uh, I'm like, I'm too grown. Maybe before I knew myself, maybe before I was introduced to loving myself, I really couldn't. I didn't get that. I only wanted to make other people happy. And if another person wasn't in that space that they weren't happy, I felt like I had to stay down there with them. Like I had to lower my vibration, I had to lower my energy, I had to not walk around with a smile on my face because they didn't have a smile on their face. And for me, I feel like that's crazy. If I see somebody else winning in their life, I see someone being positive, I see someone striving, things are going well for them. I know how to be happy for other people. And some people just don't know how to be happy for other people. And I don't understand why that is. Yes, welcome in to everybody. Shout out to my mods. Thank y'all so much. I'm good, hon. Thanks for asking. We are relaxing today. Yeah. And I'm so glad you're relaxing today. De stress, everybody. On the weekend, take some time for yourself, your family, and your loved ones, because that's what it's all about. It's so important to spend time with your loved ones. So, let me start off by saying, for me, these are Marlene's opinions. It's not for everybody, but I think a lot of times people don't want you to be happy because they're intimidated by you. And that part about being intimidated by you, when someone looks at you and they see that you're a person who is doing good things in your life, and it's not like I wake up and it's easy for me. It takes a lot of time management, getting back on track, focus, talking with mentors, that I am able to operate the way that I operate. And other people will look at you, they will judge you. Hello, who am I talking to? People will look at you and they will judge you, and they think that being you is easy. Being yourself is very challenging because we have thoughts, we have feelings, we have fears, we have worries, we have doubts, but I personally choose to not give in to the fears, the doubts, the worries, other people's projections, and what they think about me. The more that you learn to love yourself, I feel like this is the message for today, for this topic. Everybody learn to love yourself more. And I found on the job, on the job, with family, with friends, with other people, just because they're not happy, just because they're personally not doing anything with their life, and they're not using their personal gifts, their personal talents, they look at you and they're like, ugh, that like they're disgusted by you. And I don't understand the reason why that is. People just don't want to see you happy because they're unhappy. Yeah, East, I'm serious. It's about four people in my life that I had to completely, like, not just remove their number from my phone, but I had to stop calling them. I had to stop being around them because everything that they're about is negative, or everything that they're about is procrastinating. That's one of my major pet peeves, is somebody who always talks about what they're trying to do. Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And you never see them do anything. It's always the same thing, and it's always the same excuses. Excuses, excuses, excuses. And I'm not saying I don't make excuses either, but I try my best. If I know I'm not going to do something, I don't tell people I'm going to do something. Uh, and that's just an encouragement to everybody to stop telling people what you're doing. It's like don't toot your horn, don't sound an alarm. Just do it. Just put things into action and let it happen. And then when people see that you're actually doing something, then it's like, okay, they can see it. They can see the action of all of it. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm about these days. When I was younger, I think probably my teen years, I was so interested in everybody accepting me, liking me, what they thought about me. That counted so much to me. And it's like these days, I really don't care. I don't care who likes me. I don't care what their opinion is. I don't care. And the same thing for everybody else. Go after your dreams. Go after your passions, everybody. Do the things that you want to do for you. Learn to be more unapologetic. I think that's so important as we get older. We should be growing, we should be maturing, we should be more responsible. We should be taking care of the people, right? The people in your life that actually matter instead of worrying about the people that don't. I spent so many years. I always say, I wish I could get back some of that time that I wasted in my life worrying about what they like, what they think about me, and all of this and all of that, instead of me focusing on me, on Marlene, and my dreams, and using my talents and accomplishing things and enjoying life and smiling more and having more peace and separating myself from the people who aren't. This, I just felt like this was a good message for a lot of people. I feel like this is something that more people need to hear. Hey Kyle, how are you doing? Yeah, realist one, that part. I feel like a lot of people really need to learn to know themselves. And I think that's what the art of being happy actually means. To be happy, you have to know yourself, you know? You have to know yourself. It's all of those things. Knowing yourself, what you want, what you are about, what you like, and quieting that outside noise, all of the external noise, all of the, what other people, how they're moving. I'm learning more and more that what another person thinks, what another person is doing, what another person's estimation of me, how they generalize me, how they see me, all of that is none of my business. It ain't none of my business. And I'm finding the more that I'm getting into me, what I need, what I want, what I like, what matters to me, what is my gift, what is my talent, what's my blessing. See, what is my blessing, what is your blessing is not somebody else's. So I had to learn to stop apologizing, stop diminishing, stop minimizing what has been downloaded inside of me. And the same thing for you, what you're good at, what you know how to do, the way that you are, what your personality is. Don't change that because another person doesn't like it. Okay. That's their problem. That's a you problem. That's not a me problem. And the more that we learn to be happy with ourselves, and work on yourself, everybody can stand to work on themselves more. And that's why I kind of stay more in the background these days. It's like I can love people, I can support people. I try to be understanding of others, trying to give to others, but everybody, don't be a doormat. Don't be used and played and all of the games that people will do in your all relationships. Don't let people use you And for me, that's one of the reasons why I could never be happy with myself, because I was allowing other people to go after their dreams, and I just was staying on the sidelines, right? I'm looking at other people and I see that they're winning. I see that they have this amazing life, but I wasn't doing anything to make my own life amazing. So everybody, this year is coming to a close, right? We're in November, right? We're in November. We've had 11 months to get our life right. We've had 11 months to live the life that we want to live. Have you done it? Have you done what you wanted to do? I'm not talking about kids, parents, siblings, the person you're in a relationship with. I'm talking about you, everybody, you. And this was the message that I was talking on the phone with my mentor for a long time yesterday. And it really got me amped up for this topic, that you spend so many time in your life, months, years of your life, uh, just accepting anything. And if you fall for anything, you'll never be in a space in your life where you can actually be happy to your highest potential. Okay? Everybody be happy to your highest potential, even if it makes another person uncomfortable, sad, all of those things. You have to be yourself. You have to be more of you. You have to look for your gifts, your blessings, and use them. Everybody, use your gifts, use your blessings, reach out for them, and appreciate the life that you have. And for me, once I started to learn that I couldn't be happy for myself, or I couldn't be in a happy state or a happy state of mind, because I was allowing other people with their misery and their drama to take me down. And if we don't pay attention to that, people that we love, they're not loving us back. They're not giving us what we need so that we can be happy. We got to be very careful of that. We got to be very careful. I never move with a purposeful intention to make folk like me. Yeah, and you can't. I it's not really like I was doing it on purpose, but a lot of times we will do things like that. We will put family, friends, the person you're in a relationship with, your kids. You'll put everything above you, and you'll be drowning. You'll be miserable. You'll be unhappy. You'll be sad. So whoever needs to hear it, take some time for you, whatever that means. Take a break from other people. Distance yourself from other people so that you can hear that voice inside of your own head telling you what you need to do. And I, for a long time, I was so busy involving, being in with the crowd, being with a lot of people, so that I didn't have to focus on myself. I was so busy trying to be accepted that I didn't give myself any time to accept me. ha. I didn't give myself any time to accept me, how I was. I was so busy trying to change or try to do things to please other people and make other people happy, that I was not making myself happy. Hmm. And life is too short. You never know what is going to be your last day. You never know. Today could be your last day. And if it's your last day here on this earth, are you happy with the life that you lived? Are you happy with the way that you treated yourself? Did you use your brain's power? Did you use your talent to do the things that you wanted to do? And I had to start thinking, and I was saying to myself, no, I haven't. I haven't been using my gifts. I haven't been using my talent. I haven't been using my blessings to the fullest potential that I should, because I'm so I was so unfocused. I was taking my eyes off of my focus of what I need to be focused on, because I was distracted by making friends, family, job, everybody happy but me. And I had to put a stop to that. So whoever needed to hear that, yeah, all of that. I hope you got it. Yeah, if so, cool. But if not, yeah, I get it. I get it, realist. I really do. I'm doing awesome, Kyle. Thank you for asking. Yeah, Tamika, it's been a long road, and I don't know who else has been through a long road in their life, as a human being, as a grown man, as a grown woman. We constantly are on a journey, everybody in our life, and a journey to just be yourself throughout the changes in your life, as you age, as people drop in and out your life, learning how to adjust and being okay with the changes, being okay with changes, being okay with other people's choices, being okay with you. So everybody learn to be more okay with yourself, how you look, how you talk, how you react, how you the gifts and the blessings that you have. Learn to appreciate that even more. Learn to be you, everybody. And I don't mean you based on society or family or friends, you based on what other people will like about you. No, I mean being you. And for myself, I had to learn that being me was not was going to make a lot of people angry. Yeah, all of that. And I've been walking in that in 2023. That I am, me being happy is going to make a lot of people unhappy, because that means that I can't be phony. I can't be around the negativity. I'm not going to waste my time, my effort, and my energy on those that I already know that they don't rock with me. I already know that you don't like me. I'm not going to be phony. I can't do that. So if I rock with you, I rock with you because, I'm cool with you. But not everybody that we know is good for us. Mm, yeah, it's all those things. I'm processing it all in my mind as I say it to you. Not everybody that we know actually is good for us. There really aren't. There's a lot of people, and all they are doing. I have a great day, East. There's a lot of people that we know. I'm not a Grinch. I just don't make being accepted a priority. Yeah, I know. And everybody is different. And some people, that's an easy thing for them to just dismiss other people. And other people, a person like me, it's a little bit harder, because for me, when I love people, I really do love them. And but I had to learn to decipher, to distinguish that I may love them, but they don't love me. And that's a whole different thing. Yeah, it's a whole different thing. So I'm just learning to grow as a woman. And I think a lot of people, they'll say I'm grown, but they're not acting grown. They get affected by every decision. Every time somebody does something, they're all in their feelings. And I'm learning even more every day to not let other people's emotions, other people's evaluations, not affect me. You have to learn to lower the emotion and elevate the thinking. So, what do you think versus what do you feel? And learning to stop operating on your emotion 100% of the time is something that we all have to learn, instead of always going by how everything that happens to you it is not something that you should operate on. Yeah, all of that. So don't operate in that, everybody. Don't operate just on emotion. While emotions are important, how you feel is important, but you can't let the feelings of others um, affect yours. You have to learn like they don't matter. This is another one. So a lot of times we're not happy like we could be because certain people, they want to have your whole life. They wish that they were you. They wish, for some reason, I don't understand it, because I'm at a space in my life where I love myself fully, but there are some that they want to be you so bad. They'll copy your whole life. They'll copy the way you dress, the way you talk, the things that you do, your whole job, everything. They'll copy everything. They want to be you so bad, and that's why they try to make you miserable, because they wish that they were you. And everybody, you can't be another person. It's about self-acceptance, self-awareness, self-love. However you are, learn to accept yourself for how you are. And for me, that meant for me going back to my childhood at a time where I didn't like myself, and asking myself, why don't I like myself? Is it because I don't like myself because of my family? Or now I've learned that it's my job to make my own self happy. It's your job to learn to like yourself. Hmm. All of those things. And it takes time. It's not something that just happens overnight, that one day you wake up and you love yourself. If you've been through a lot of things, if you've been trampled on, if you've been used and abused and not respected, your opinions haven't been respected, it's hard for you to get to that space. But every single day, you do a little bit to work on yourself, so that you can learn what makes me happy, what makes me happy as a human being, and learning to accept myself for who I am, and silencing all the noise of other people and what they don't like about you. But what do I like about myself, and learning to embrace that even more. Hey, puzzle pieces, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Happy Saturday to you. Yeah, so it's all those things, and I find that a lot of times it's the people that we care about the most, the people that we love the most, aren't happy. They're not happy with themselves, and they're trying to make you unhappy. When they look at you and they see that you're walking around, you're smiling, you're about your business, you're focused, you're doing all of these good things, you have healthy relationships, people like you, they get, there's like, I want your life, but nobody can have another person's life. And you're just going to make yourself miserable more every day, until the moment that you make a decision to love yourself. And I can say for myself, because I'm fully grown over here, I'm mature as a woman, I'm a whole grown woman that is accountable for myself. And I had to learn that my thing is, I was jealous. I definitely was jealous. I definitely was jealous of other women and other men that had the life that I wanted. But I didn't understand that it takes work. I had to learn to put in the work to work on me, and to not want to be like somebody else. I had to learn to be like me. Who am I? What do I want? What am I about? What am I good at? And then do more of that. So instead of looking at another person and wanting what another person has, wanting what another person is doing, I had to say, yeah, they may be doing that, but is that good for me? That was like the first like grown and mature thought that I had. I think I was like 22. And that was the first time when I started saying, why should I want what they have when I should learn to want what I have, learn to want what my higher power has downloaded inside of me. I don't want what you have. I want what I have. And I had to learn to find out really what is that. Hmm. And a lot of times we can have people in our life, your parents or whoever raised you didn't foster that inside of you. They didn't nurture that inside of you. Honey, what do you want? What do you want for your life? Who do you want to be? And I love to nurture that these days inside of the younger people in my family, because we have to make the next generation from the beginning learn to have a positive self-image of themselves. you know what do you want? Who do you want to be? Not who I want you to be, not auntie, cousin, this person, that person, the person on the TV. What are you good at? What do you like? And when you start fostering that sort of growth inside of yourself, the younger people in your family are going to look up and say, look at how auntie, cousin, this person, my sister, whoever it is, they're doing it. So, and I found that once I stepped into a space in my life where I could actually be happy for myself, and I was actually doing things to make myself happy, then I could be happy for other people. And it wasn't until that moment that I knew how to be happy with me that I could be happy with somebody else. I could be happy for somebody else. I could celebrate somebody else. And I couldn't do that before. I was always jealous of other people, envious of other people, wanting somebody else's whole life because I didn't like my life, because my life wasn't what I wanted, because I didn't know that I could just embrace myself and love myself and use my own gifts and talents instead of wanting what somebody else had. And for me, that was a whole word, growth moments, mature moment, all of those things. So, you know, you don't get it until you get it. You don't get it until you want to get it. You have to want to be a fully grown individual. You have to want it. And for a long time, I didn't want it. A long time. A long time, I didn't want to be grown. I wanted to blame other people. I wanted to blame family. I wanted to blame friends. I wanted to blame other people because when you accept that you need to make changes, it takes work. And I didn't want to put in the work. It's much easier to ride on the coattails of other people. It's so much easier to look at another person's success and try to stand in the background and try to get something without doing anything. If that makes sense to you guys, it's much easier to stand in the background and to just see a person who's successful and just want what they have and try to just, okay, let me get some of the afterglow, some of the sunshine from them, some of the elevation and the radiation from them, what they're radiating, instead of me putting in the work. And everybody has to put in the work. Everybody has to work on themselves to make their own self happy. So it's all that too. And it wasn't until I wanted to get there in my life before I got there. Hey, Boss Life Online, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Saturday. I appreciate you being here. I hope you're doing well. And that's what it was for me. I had to learn to stop being jealous of others and jealous of other people's gifts, jealous of other people's talents, jealous of other people's looks, jealous of other people's financial situation, the material things that they have. I had to learn that it wasn't until I wanted to do something about my life. Until you want to make changes, nothing will change. And for me, I had to put a fire under my own self. I had to put something uh, deep rooted underneath me, that fire, that resilience. I had to strengthen my backstory. Like, you've been through a lot, Marlene. So because you've been through a lot, encourage yourself and keep going. And now, because you've made so many changes, now prove it to yourself. I put in all that work to be who I am. So it's not a time to sit down on your gifts and your talents and your blessings. Motivate yourself, encourage yourself, do what you need to do to make yourself happy. And that is when my life changed, just like that. Once I made a decision to love myself, once I found out my why am I here? What am I good at? What is my talent and my gift? Now I can learn to be happy with me, because before I never had a why. I was just looking at other people and wanting what they had instead of wanting what I had. So that self acceptance, that self awareness, that self love, knowing my worth, knowing that I wasn't alone in this life, that I didn't have to struggle by myself, tapping into my spiritual side and knowing that I don't have to go at this life alone, knowing that I could be a good person. And because I was a good person, I was going to draw other good people to me like a magnet. That was a lesson to me too. Before I was so negative and mean and nasty to other people. So that's why I was always getting the mean, the nasty, the negative, being taken advantage of because I wasn't doing right. See, it's all of those things too. If you are at a space in your life and you're not getting the things that you want, are you actually doing what you're supposed to do? See, that positive energy, it follows you. You do right to other people, and other people will do right to you. That's a gift in itself. It's a life lesson. Treat people right. Do right to others. Do right to yourself, and you're gonna start. Everything will start shifting in your life. You'll find better friendships. People will treat you better. Your finances will get better. You'll have joy. Your weight is going to elevate. You're gonna smile more. So much things will improve. So much happiness will come to you. So much light will come to you instead of before maybe a darkness, because you know yourself, because you're putting in the work, because you're being accountable, because you love yourself. All of those things can't happen until you, as a person, as a human being, are doing what you need to do to be happy. And that's what the shift happened for me. Once I made a decision to be happy, everything else is going to change in your life. Once I decided to be happy, there's nothing that can stop you. When you make a decision to be happy, when you're putting in the work, when you're being accountable, when you're forgiving, when you're loving yourself, when you're doing what you need to do as a human being and treating people right, everything is just going to start happening to you in your life. Put in the work, everybody. Put in the work to make your life as happy. See, before, all I ever did was make excuses. I was always too tired. I was always too busy. Well, if you keep putting in the same, you're always going to get the same. Yes, a lot of times I'm tired a lot of times, but if you want something, nothing is going to come your way until you put in the work. If you don't make a change, what will change in your life? No results will ever happen. There's not going to be a shift. There's not going to be some blessings that will come your way until you make a decision. You personally, as an individual, as a human being, if you want your life to be amazing, you have to put in the work to make it happen. You. And when I realized that it was me and not them, everything started changing, and I started to become happy because I made choices that made me happy. Like in my thinking, I had to start shifting my mindset. That was one of the biggest obstacles that I had to endure in making myself happy. I had to make a decision that to say, Marlene, you deserve to be happy. Whereas before, I thought my happiness was dependent on everybody in my life, and it's not. If other people aren't happy in their life, that doesn't have anything to do with you, just like it has nothing to do with me. I'm sorry when other people are miserable and unhappy, but I have to make choices to make my own self happy. And we all have bad times, hard times, rough times, difficulties, all type of situations that happen to us. but what is your mindset towards the situation? Every single day, I have to remind myself, today I choose to be happy. Today I choose joy. Today I'm going to get up and do what I need to do to make my life amazing. And when I started putting in that work, when I started putting in the mindset, I had to do things. That means I have to work sometimes two, three, four, five times harder than other people. Other people don't know your backstory. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know what you've endured. They don't know what is going on right now in this moment in your life. They don't know your obstacles, but I know them. And I have to encourage myself. I have to encourage myself. There is nobody that can know what you want like you can. The only person that can know what you want more than you is your higher power. They know everything. Your higher power knows everything. They know your capability. They know what you've endured. They know what you have been through. But the question is, what are you doing to shift and change your life? And for me to be happier, not just happy, happier, possess joy, have all the things that I want, I had to do something different. I had to do something more than I had ever done in my entire life. Mm. Let's welcome Nexie to the show.
Hello, Marlene. How you doing?
I'm doing.
Okay, good, good. Oh my God, I have never ran so fast in my life to get here. I was in the middle of something and I was like, oh my God, hurry up, hurry up. Anyway, I'm here. Great. I mean, wow. Let me tell you something. I wanted to jump in, and I'm sorry I'm going back, and I'm probably interrupting your thoughts, but I want to go back
No,
to
you aren't. No, you aren't. You aren't.
Okay, okay, thank you. But I want to go back to something you said earlier. I had the tendency of wanting everybody to like me. And I would be playing outside. I remember when I was younger, I was playing outside and, I would come home sad and sometimes crying. And my dad would ask, what's wrong? I would not say anything. And went on for a long time. One day my dad, I guess, got tired of me coming back sad and crying, and then he asked me, what's wrong? I keep on asking, you're not saying anything, what's wrong? I said, well, somebody in the group doesn't like me, you know it just doesn't like me, and I cannot play anymore. And then he's looking at me like, what do you mean I can't play because that person doesn't like me? He says, who cares if one person doesn't like you? Does everybody else like you? Yeah, okay then. No, but I want that person to like me. And my dad set me down and he said, look, in life, you're going to find people that are not going to be kind to you. They're not going to like what you are, who you are, what your beliefs are, the language you speak sometimes. You're going to find all sorts of people in the world. Okay. And I know I'm talking like a grown up, he says, but you need to understand that not everybody's going to like you. The one thing that everybody likes? And I was like, what is it, Dad? What is it? He's like, gold coins. Everybody likes gold coins. And then he's like, have you ever seen a gold coin? I said, no, I've never seen it. Exactly. So you see, the thing that everybody likes is not here. We cannot have them. We cannot see them. So you have to be happy if out of, he said, let's say, what's the highest number you can count? I said, this point, I think 50. He says, okay, if 47 people of the 50 friends you have, if 47 like you, then that's enough for you. If out of the 50, only 5 like you, then that is enough for you. Not everybody has to like you. Go back and play. And I was thinking, like, he's crazy, you know? He's crazy. How dare he tells me that one person that doesn't like me, I cannot make him like me. But we have to understand with that little pep talk my dad gave me, and I go back to what you were saying, it's very important to have that one person in your life that can make you believe in you, love you, understand you, because that was a milestone for me. That taught me the life lesson that I learned in my life, that even if people don't like me, as long as I'm okay with me, that's all it matters. Because I'm going to give the gift of love to the people that can accept it, not to the ones that rejecting it, you know?
Hmm. Yeah. And that's something that I learned in therapy, Nexi. I had to
I
learn
just
that for
wanted to say that.
myself. Yeah, and I'm so glad that you shared that. And I'm so grateful that your father taught you that lesson. I didn't get that when I was younger. It wasn't until I was older that I learned about, as long as you accept yourself, everything else is irrelevant. And that gave me so much power when
Hmm.
that's when I finally started to be able to complete tasks. Because those who don't know my story, I used to always get a lot of rejection from my family. Like, no matter what I did, it was never good enough. So that's the
Hmm.
reason I never could, because I was like, why finish things? Why do things to your best ability? Because no matter what I do, it's never good enough for them. So I had to learn that even if it's not good for them, but is it good for you? Is it good for yourself? And as long as I say that's good for me, I know I did my best. And as long as you know you're operating at your best and doing your best, everything else that somebody else says is irrelevant. Even if other people don't like you, it's all irrelevant. We have to learn to pour that love from the inside of us instead of worrying about trying to pull in from the outside into us, a likability of others.
Hmm. It's true, but you always need, and it's, very sad that you had to learn it, until you started working on yourself. But I'm glad that you did. Um, Sometimes, as parents, we fail our children sometimes, one way or another. But it is important that we're always putting in their heads that positive things, how good they are on something, how great readers they are, right? How good they play soccer or whatever it is. We have to make sure that we're always saying the right thing to our kids, because they we're the only ones that see them on the daily, for the first 18 years. So we have to make sure, and I think that that's what my dad was trying to do with me, was trying to make sure that I had positive thinking, positive thoughts about me, no matter what. And I think I learned it from him to pass that on to my kids, to make sure that they were always looking at something positive in their lives, something that they did good,
Right.
something. And I took it even further. I put it on to something that they do in a group together very, very well, because that's how you bring unity on the group. And my kids, they're so close with each other, it's amazing. Sometimes the siblings know things before I do. Man, I should have not done that.
But that's so good that you taught that to your children. And in my case, with my family, is that I didn't learn it until I got to be grown. So I'm doing that positive support to my siblings now, because none of us got it. Because if I didn't get it, and I'm the youngest, I know that they didn't get it. So I try these days to always be supporting of my siblings, to say, I'm so proud of you for what you're doing, and you're good at this or that, or you're a good mom or dad, or whatever it is that I know that you're going through a difficulty, but keep going. I really believe in you. Those things may not matter to a lot of people, but certain people in our life, hearing, I'm proud of you, you're doing a great job, I love you, really does go a long way to your own well-being and your own self-esteem. So don't discount us, not saying it, because we think a lot of times that people who we love know how we feel, and they don't. I know growing up we didn't have that, so now I'm starting to do that with my siblings, tell them how I really feel about them.
Let me ask you something, Marlene. Did you get the "What's wrong with you? Why are you talking like that?" Or why are you saying that to us? Did you get that reaction from your siblings when you started telling them, "I'm proud of you, I love you"? Did you get that? "What's wrong with you? Something wrong? Are you sick?"
I did initially, but then now it's on board. Now I think it's wonderful now that I started off to be the first one to always say it to my siblings, but now I'm starting to get it back. So I feel like now I'm starting to get encouraged. It's like sometimes there has to be somebody within a family or a group to be the encourager, and I definitely had to be that because I felt like that this is my gift. I'm an encourager and a motivator. So I said, if others are they are at a space in their life where they can give it to me, maybe I need to be the teacher at this moment and teach them, how to be, how to communicate positively and all of those things. So I'm grateful for this gift.
Mm. Yeah, I'm only asking because when I came in with my siblings, my sisters, right? We've always been to, and even our brothers, even if they act funny, they're like, yeah, 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 whatever, right? Me too, me too. And they walk away because they feel embarrassed. But with my sisters, we've always, I love you, sis. I'll talk to you in a minute. Okay. I'll call you back, whatever. Bye. Love you. And if we don't, I hear my sister calling me back. And I'm like, what's wrong? I said, I will call you back. Yeah, you didn't say I love you. I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah, I love you. And I hang up. But with my husband, when I came into my husband's family, I being the last one, being always the one that everybody was pouring the love and attention, I would say, oh, I love your brother-in-law, hi, sister-in-law, and they were like, what's wrong with her? Is something wrong with her? And now they're used to that. Now they're like, hey, sis, and they'll hug me. And when they're leaving, love you. I'm like, love you too. But it was so funny because they were like, yeah, that's weird. There's something wrong with her. And I'm like, why is there have to be something wrong with us because we're loving or we're different? Why does it have to be there's something wrong?
Well, I can say that I believe that it's because a lot of times when you're not used to something, it makes you feel uncomfortable. So that could be the thing that they will say that something is wrong because it's not something that they're used to. So let's welcome Leticia to the show.
Thank you. Hi, Miss Marlene. Beautiful as usual. Hello, Miss Nexie. How
How
are
you
you?
doing? I'm doing
Good.
good, Leticia. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually working on a Saturday. This is my mandatory weekend to work. So I'm listening in and I was like, oh my great goodness, good grief, Marlene. You just be coming with them back to back. You need a talk show. We gonna get you a talk show, baby. Life with Marlene. Y'all hear that? ABC. Uh, Nexie said something, and then you chimed in on about it. I'm like, that is insane to me. But it makes sense. They're not used to it, Marlene. I had that happen within my own family, where I was sending, when group texts got like kind of popular. I want to say it was like maybe 2000s, like maybe 2000, mid
Like, I
2005.
think it was mid 2000s. Yeah, I think it was like
Yeah.
mid 2000s.
So I would group, because otherwise you'd have to send a message to every person, right? So when that became like really big, like group texting, I actually would include my family on one side, and then I'd have my other family from my mom's side that I would send, good morning, grand rising, or hope you have a good day. Just very short, to the point, sweet. Hopefully, make someone's day start off great. I don't know. Maybe, change the direction of their day. And I'm one of those too. I like to pour into other people. I don't know if you can tell or not, but that's just me. I'm a cheerleader. I like to see people grow and blossom and flourish, especially those who I really believe in their message. You know what I'm saying? But I had an aunt, Nexie, that messaged me back and said, "What is wrong with you?" And when you said that, I was like, this is insane that you think there's something wrong with me. She said, "What is wrong with you?" And then proceeded to ask the same question, "Is everything okay?" And I was like, this is crazy. I've never thought I would hear, and I guess you can kind of use it as a tool to see where people's headspace is too. Like
Right.
what type of person you're dealing with. Because for anyone to ask me what's wrong with me after I tell you good morning, I don't use morning anymore, but to say good morning, have a great day. I hope you have a great day or a terrific day. I just thought, wow, that she's just
Mhm.
crazy. But I realized that she just is not an optimistic person, and she probably is always looking for something wrong. For you to ask what's wrong with me after me just simply saying good morning, have a great day, that just blew my mind. I was like, this has got to be some. And back then, I didn't think about it as in depth as I do now today, especially with words. I wasn't thinking on words that way, but it just blew my mind that she felt like I was that there was something wrong. Yeah, I've never heard anyone say that, like respond that way.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that there are people who think there's something wrong with you if you say good morning, grand rising, or whatever your greeting is, and if you tell people, have a great day. How are you doing? If people actually genuinely ask you that and listen in
Mhm.
to how you're doing, not just fine, you know. Um, anyway, I just wanted to mention that because it just went with exactly what y'all were talking about. It happens in families, it happens with friends. If you start becoming this positive person, or you're trying to be optimistic, some might even tell you you think you're better than them. And I'm like, because I'm trying to be, I don't have much more than you, and I might, but it doesn't make me better than you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And it's amazing the mindset. You can kind of use that as a gauge as to what type of person you're dealing with. But I'll yield and let you chime in, Miss Marlene.
Yeah, and I would just add to what you just said, Leticia. For me, how I saw it, because I used to be in that space. You guys see me now as a positive person, but about 7 to 8 years ago, I was the most negative, nasty person. The amount of filthy words that came out of my mouth, like I had the most despicable vocabulary you would ever hear in your life. But I'm telling you that I have been made brand new. I'm telling you, I'm a completely different person. I've done a complete revolution, revolving, and once you start to remove the toxic behaviors, the thoughts, when you've healed and worked on yourself, you can see how much that you've changed. And for me, I can say that I think the people who say what's wrong with you is because you have never been doing that before. And when a concept is new to you, some people take it like, why are they saying this to me? That's how I used to take it when I was in that negative space, because like, why are you asking me now? Like, what's wrong with you? So when you're in that space, you don't know how to receive things in a positive way, because all you have gotten all along is negativity.
Mm. Yeah, that's what I think happened, in my family. But also, Marlene, you said something earlier that you were very like foul, very negative, with everybody, right? So I understand that if they had a little bit of reservation, like, okay, why did she have a nervous breakdown? Is that why she's so positive now? I can get that. But when you come into a family and you say those words and people are like, what's so wrong with her? Is there something wrong with her? Like you're broken. You know what I mean? And I was like, that is kind of weird. But I think that you're right. A lot of times families don't use, positive words on their kids, which is what happened to, like I said, my husband's family, is that they don't use that the reinforcement of, I love you, you're my child, I love you, I want the best for you. So coming into that toxicity, because that family was very toxic, it's less now, thank God for that. But coming into that, someone like me, it was probably a culture shock for them, a different point of view that they weren't used to. And I understood as I went along that how toxic this family was, and how much work I was going to have to do as far as patience and understanding, because I had to fix a lot, not for them, right, per se, Marlene, not for them, but because I was coming into this family, I was going to start having babies. I wanted my kids to be in a positive environment. So I needed to fix them for me. So when they came to me, they were not the toxic people that they were outside of me. I wanted that. So I started treating them the way I want to be treated. I started teaching them certain things that I like in my household, so that when they came in and they were around my kids, they weren't that foul mouth or negative or mean spirited person. And that actually happened when they came into my house. It was always positivity. When we used to go to somebody else's party, there were always negativity or fights or whatever. But in my house, it was well behaved and as well mannered and positivity. So I didn't care. I couldn't fix them. It's not that I didn't care. I couldn't. It was, they were not, in the vicinity all the time. So I couldn't. One day out of the month is not enough for you to fix someone. But at least I taught him that they can change by, coming into contact with me. They can be different. You don't have to be this person. It's up to you whether you take it or not. It's up to you. But in my house, these are my rules.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And I think I should have prefaced this by I was group texting because it was a new thing. I'm it may be a generational difference too with this particular person. She's an older aunt. And so maybe she was like, "Oh, this is too much for me. Why are you group texting me, with technology changing as fast as it did?" So uh, anyway, I took her off the group. The group. I took her out the group.
Leticia, if I only tell you what I did the first time I used group text, yeah, I don't use it anymore.
No, I don't even.
I
I
I made
say,
a mistake.
yeah, group text became like this no, no fly zone type thing for me nowadays. I'm in group text. I have no problem getting them as long as it's information I need. But if not, I can take myself out of it. I'll take myself out. Like I'm in a group text for my son's soccer team. I need that information. But other than that, I do have keep it on silent because there's people just chat back and forth. I will silence that mug, but I've learned to remove myself from those that, hey, I don't need, like I've had people send, I don't do pagan holidays. So I remove myself from those texts because I've actually had people try to go back and forth with me in those group texts about it. But needless to say, I did learn to remove folks from group text at that time. Now I don't do group text anymore, but yeah, I just think it could have been a generational thing because it was when it first came out and I was excited. I was like, ooh, I get to just tell everybody. I can send everybody at the same time. I don't have to send one at a time. Like, because I was really big. I'm big on family and I love, family life. But you have to realize that your family is what you make it. And like you were saying, there's some people who aren't going to always be included, Nexie. Like they might not be welcome to come in your home if they're going to continue to be disrespectful or not live by your rules in your household. And like you said, you can only do so much with the small time you have, and we really can't change people. We can hope that they change by our behavior and by what we display. That's how I look at it. But that's just hope, right? And not to say hope is lost, but I can just hope, and I'll put out in the universe. I hope that that person can be a better person for themselves first and foremost, and then for the relationships that they're going to have, whether it's with me, my children, my other family. But yeah, there's at some point there's people who just aren't going to be invited to the party, or I won't even attend parties that I know is
Mhm.
going to be that type of party, because I don't want to be around that type of energy, so to speak. So,
Mhm.
but
Right.
yeah, great conversation, Marlene. I'm going to jump back into the chat.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you so much,
Mhm.
Leticia. Have
Thank
a
you,
great rest of your
Leticia.
day. Yeah, and I really like what Leticia was saying, because what one thing that I learned when it came to, things like that group texting stuff, is there's certain people that, like, I don't know, it like when I just see their phone number pop up, like, it triggers me. They don't even if it's something positive, there's some people I don't want to hear from. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear from you. And it's not that I haven't forgiven them, but they take me backwards. It's like some
Mm,
people just, like, I can't explain it to you, but it's certain people that have done so many things to
it's a
me that,
trigger.
yeah, they trigger me. And I was like, just seeing them say good morning, I'm just like, ah.
No, for me was that group text. I forgot that, you know, I saw my daughter's name. I had the first, I think, first or second time I got one of those. I think it was sent by my daughter, and some of her cousins were there, the rest of her siblings and whatever. And there was someone there that I don't like, right? And
Mhm.
so I said, the good thing, Marlene, is that I didn't say the name. So when the group text finished, right? So I thought it was a private text to my daughter, but what I did is I looked at her name and I pressed the group. I didn't know. So I'm like, why was she in this, why was she in this conversation? I go, haven't I told you not to hang around her? And then my daughter texted me back without answering on the feed. And it's, Mom, you're on the group text. So I left it at that, and then everybody started, who is she? What is she talking about? Auntie, who are you talking about? What is this? What is that?
No more group text for Nexie.
And I was about to type in the name, but I don't know why I didn't. And everybody started asking. I go, oh, no, no, never mind, never mind. I was talking about somebody else to Laura. I thought this was, don't worry about it, honey. It's nothing to do with you. But my daughter's like, Mom, that's a group text. We're not supposed to. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't know this technology thing. But
Mhm.
yeah, so I stay away from those because, I don't know. Nope, no group text for me.
Nope, nope, nope.
I do single texting. That's all I do. Just here to you, from me to you, to you, from me.
I don't like group text. I tell everybody, do not put me in a group text. I always put in caps, remove me from this group. I don't like group texting. If you have something, say, I like to talk to people individually so I can say what I want to.
And, you have to, and I don't, I don't approve of that. I don't like group texts. You sometimes can find out too much about someone,
Yeah,
so you don't
too
want
much.
that.
Mm.
Yeah, you don't
So
want a corrupted mind. Nope.
no, no, we're not doing that. So, I feel like this has been an amazing conversation. I honestly don't want it to end, but I got some grouchy people outside my door that are waiting for me to start cooking dinner. So I gotta go. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. And don't let anybody stop you from being happy. Any final words, Miss Nexie?
Just be the best that you can be. That's the only thing I can leave people with, because if you're out there trying to please everybody, you're gonna make yourself miserable. just be happy with who you are and when you can give to others. The rest is up to them.
Yes.
Thank you for having
Yes.
me, Marlene.
Thank you so much, Nexie. Appreciate you. And to everybody in the chat, all you gems, be happy, live your life, be yourself, have joy, peace, all of that. Happiness is so important, and having joy for yourself, for who you are, is key. Thank you so much for tuning into Life with Marlene. If it's your first time here, hit the like, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you guys on the next chit chat, live stream, walk through, vlog, whatever video or live that you may find from this channel. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and see you on the next one. Bye. Where is it? Where is it?